Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Oklahoma Esports League. I am Jackson, joined yet again by Garrett for another fantastic season. Starting off today with some Overwatch between the Edison Eagles and Moore. I forgot the mascot.
The Moore Lions, I believe.
I trust
Yeah,
you.
if I'm 100% sure, it would be the Moore Lions. Yeah, getting ready to go into Antarctic Peninsula today as the first map. It will be a best of 5, and I believe loser chooses the map after the first map.
How do you feel about Antarctic Peninsula?
It is a control map of all time. I think it's the newest control map in the game still. I don't remember if it or Samoa was added recently. But, you know, control, always a good one to start off on. Haven't been watching a lot of Overwatch recently, so definitely interested to see that sort of meta. We have Moore on this red side with Edison on this blue. Looks like Edison wants to play...
The Rhine Mirror.
Yeah, the Rhine Mirror. Edison wanted to play this traditional brawl comp with the Reaper May, definitely trying to get in close in that Juno Brig. Meanwhile, we actually see the Zenyatta on Moore's side going to look to try and get a little bit more poke value, even with the Reinhardt. Gonna have to see how that works out here.
And starting off quickly, a lot of Junkrat damage coming out early. Going to make some space here, Aristocro, but Marunia will be the first to go down. Widowkiss managing to get 2 onto Sniz as well. Starting this off strong for Moore right now. Aristocro, Clover, and Magi Cactus just going to try to have to back up. Nightman will go ahead and Fire Strike off Aristocro. Back to spawn, and Jay's going to finish that one off there on Clover. An early fight win here for Moore. Going to get the initial cap here.
Yeah, definitely an awkward situation for Edison, having to play against that Zenyatta and that Junkrat. Going to make so much spam and just kind of confirm that fight before it even happens for Edison. Moore doing a really solid job of being able to get their Brawl Core in there once they get the advantage.
Yeah, now going into the second fight, looks like they might want to go down towards this left side. Don't really want to push that choke on the bridge there. You have the Reinhardt and the Brig, especially with Juno speed to make something happen. Sniz on the Tracer now to make some angles open up. A lot of damage coming out from Aristocro, but doesn't find anything. Magi Cactus does manage to finish off Jays there with those Pulsar Torpedoes, but Widow's Kiss and Nightman will follow it up. Marunia manages to get 1, but Nightman will manage to clean up 2 more, and that will be another fight win here for Moore. 50% knocked off the clock here. Another 50% needed, but Edison coming up on some ultimates, maybe be able to make something happen.
Yeah, and shout out to Umai, the Lifeweaver on Moore's side, actually being able to save Ghost and lift them up with that pedal, really stopped that brawl engagement from Edison there. As the timer continues to tick, getting to 70% now, Edison going to need to find a fight win here if they want a chance to get this round.
Yeah, and the Shatter available for both teams, and it comes out from Aristocro. Manages to get 4 down. Able to take out the Lucio at the beginning here, looking for the Junkrat as well. Sniz finishes off the Lifeweaver in the back wall. Aristocro finishes off Jays there. Marunia does fall, but it's not going to matter. The fight does go in the favor of Edison. Sniz with that Pulse Bomb available. Clover coming up on that Blizzard as well. We do see the Death Blossom, the Tire, and the Tree of Life available, all for Moore. But Magi Cactus and Marunia both coming up close on these ultimates as well. Looks like this next fight is going to come up to the ultimates. The Pulse Bomb going to come out from Sniz. Does manage to find Ghost there. Is going to start the fight with an advantage here. Sniz looking for more in the backline here. The Blizzard comes out from Clover. Is going to try to find some more picks here. Aristocro does go down. Clover manages to get 1 onto Jays as well. Edison is now down a tank right now, just looking to survive in this fight here. Still just trying to make something happen. Sniz going to have to back up a little bit. Looks like Edison is just waiting for their tank to be able to get back to rally. Going to be popped from Marunia just to stay alive. Widow's Kiss going to go down to that rally there. And Sniz gets into the back line, manages to find Umai. Marunia getting 1 as well. Aristocro is going to be back now as well. 50% knocked off the clock here. Clover going to find yet another. Stalling Moore's push as much as they possibly can. Get some staggers here.
Yeah, Marunia making a fantastic play in that last fight, actually popping the rally to get the stun on Widowkiss's Death Blossom on that Reaper ultimate, being able to stop it and getting 2 eliminations on that Brigitte roll. Not something you see very often. Very big play from them.
Yeah, the Reaper going to come out, has to get that ice block out from Clover to keep themselves alive. The Juno Beam available. This Orbital Ray going to prove important here for Edison. The Pulse Bomb comes out onto Jays. An early advantage found yet again from Sniz. The orbital ray going to come out from Magi Cactus. Going to push forward with this ult here. Try to find some more if they can. And a touch is going to be made for more. That overtime going to start ticking down. Sniz finds one onto Widow's Kiss. Now just looking to try to get back. The tire going to come out from Jays. Maybe looking for a pick here. Doesn't quite find anything. The Lifeweaver tree going to come out. Going to keep their team alive in this final fight, but Aristocro going to find one. The Shatter comes out, but no picks yet. Ghost manages to get one, but Aristocro, the Reinhardt, showing a dominance here in this game. Ghost just trying to stall this point as much as possible, but it will go in the favor of Edison. But more, making a great statement at the beginning, but Edison, I think, just getting a lot of ult value, and especially some fantastic early picks from Sniz there.
Yeah, I think Edison made some really strong adjustments, especially Sniz going off of that Reaper, opting for the Tracer, seeing the Zenyatta after first fight, a very fast adjustment there, being able to pressure Ghost off of that Zenyatta and onto the more traditional Lucio pick. And from there, Edison felt very confident about being able to pick into that backline, making a lot of really strong plays for them for a lot of the round. Meanwhile, Moore coming out with those first 3 fight wins, not being able to get the round, needs to try and find those adjustments and see exactly where they're struggling with. I think Aristocro needs a little bit more pressure on themselves if you are Moore trying to be able to pressure down that Reinhardt where they can't constantly swing on your backline.
And it looks like Moore's going to decide to go a little more pokey yet again, pulling out the Widowmaker and the Ashe to try to get as much as they can. Maybe try to find some picks on Sniz here in the backline. Maybe look for a Magi Cactus or a Clover just working around. Right now, Edison playing towards this left side. Going to start getting some engages. That Juno ring going to come out. Speed Aristocro forward here. Jace finds an early pick onto Clover. Magi Cactus will trade it out onto Ghost. Jace and Nightman both getting really low. Aristocro will finish it off with a Fire Strike. And it looks like that will be an early fight win here for Edison. Going to go ahead and take that point cap.
Yeah,
Magi going to have to back up.
Magi Cactus with a fantastic Juno ring there, and just a great engagement from Edison as well, making the decision all together and just running over the front line with Nightman on Moore's side. Really good play from Edison, and also had a little bit of a delayed engagement there. It was kind of interesting to watch, but just an entire team effort being able to make that value there.
Yeah, for sure. And now Edison playing a little differently here, kind of giving more. Is going to get the point flip here, but looking for a quick fight. Doesn't want to give away the angles to Jays and Widow's Kiss. Knows that they are playing these long angles. Just try to avoid it as much as possible. Going to go ahead and get the point flip back. Looking to clean up this fight here. Widow's Kiss is going to manage to get one. A nice headshot onto Sniz there. But Clover will clean up Ghost. Nightman getting one. Magi Cactus and Aristocro trading it back out. And it looks like Edison will take the advantage in this fight yet again. Clover going to stagger out Widow's Kiss here as well, slowing down their push just a little bit more. No ults online just yet here for either team.
And we do see more with the hero swap, swapping the Junkrat and the Bastion, deciding the double sniper is not going to work, and it's because Edison's playing such an interesting position. I don't think I've ever seen this before, but really denying the sightlines, looking for an opportunity to walk onto point, trying to take this high ground over and over again, and Moore's recognizing that by being able to try and flip this point, Edison going to be able to have the contest, but I'm not sure if they were expecting the hero swaps as well. Nightman just looking to contest and stall this out a little bit longer. Edison actually getting the flip there, or preventing the flip. A lot of Pulsar torpedo damage coming out. Sniz trying to poke on the sides, looking for the engagement, trying to take down Nightman.
Blizzard and Rally going to come out, both from Edison. Aristocro coming up on the Shatter as well, with the Orbital Ray coming up from Magi Cactus. Widow's Kiss doing a lot of damage on that Ryan Shield, but it's just proving to be not enough. Jays does manage to get a nice pick there onto Sniz. Aristocro just keeping themselves alive. Looking maybe for an ult here, getting down pretty low, but Magi Cactus available to make something happen. Sniz coming back. The Orbital Ray is going to come out from Magi Cactus, looking for a pick here. Looking for Jays, doesn't quite get there, is able to get out. Jays themselves managing to get a pick onto Maroon. A fantastic shatter comes out from Aristocro. Manages to find Jace and Widow's Kiss there. The beat's going to come out from Ghost, keeping Moore alive. 99% here. This fight does need to be cleaned up by Moore if they want to keep themselves alive in this first match. Clover going to get one onto Nightman, now down the tank. I don't know how much more can do here other than just stall the point as much as possible, and it won't pan out how they want. Edison going to take that second one, and game one will go in the Eagles' favor.
Yeah, definitely an interesting way to play that second map, really wanting to almost dare more to walk onto the point, take that fight, and then be able to fight from there with their brawl, really preventing the high ground from being taken advantage of. As we see this play from Nightman on Moore, again, Moore coming out very dominant at the beginning of these rounds, just not being able to clean it up a little bit. Edison, though, being able to adjust in the middle of those maps, coming out with some creative play calls, and those team comp mid-round, I feel like those are really difficult to always be able to set up and understand your adjustments, immediately doing it whenever they felt like they had to struggle in team comp. Very smart Overwatch play there from Edison.
Yeah, and we'll have to see how Moore decides to switch it up in these next couple maps. Maybe Control just isn't their game mode. Maybe they're looking for more hybrid. Maybe they're looking for a push map. We'll have to see, but for now, we will be right back.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You
And we are back with our game 2. For people just now tuning in, Edison does manage to take that first game. Now going into the second, Moore is going to choose this Eichenwald. And now being on hybrid, we're going to have to see how Moore favors here in this second game. We saw them play control at the beginning, playing that almost said Eco Point Antarctica, but that's the arcade map. No, what was the control map called? Antarctic Peninsula.
Antarctic Peninsula.
I got it.
You said Eco Point. I was like, no, you're right. You got it.
Yeah, no, that's the like the arcade mode.
But no, definitely. And one great thing about Overwatch is the way all of these maps are designed. Even though someone looks really strong on a certain map type or a certain composition, you can go to a different map type like hybrid that we're on now, see completely different compositions, and maybe see a stronger team. So we actually have more coming out with that Pharah and bringing the Zenyatta back out. This is what I think had the most success.
Too.
Yeah, some subs as well. Edison coming out on this full spam comp.
Yeah, with the Ashe, the Sigma probably the pokiest character in the game. I'd say the most
tank-wise, yeah.
Tank-wise,
sure.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So pulling out that with the Ashe, and then you have those Mei right clicks on top of having an Alari, who's like kind of hybrid DPS almost, being able to poke quite well as well into this more attack, with Nightman being on the Reinhardt again and Jays being on that Bastion. Might prove a little rough to try to push in, but if they can get some momentum going, then I think they can make something happen here. A lot of damage coming out early from Edison, though. Onto Moore, going to have to back up and stabilize just a little bit. Yeah, some ults coming online pretty quick here for Edison as well.
There's just going to be so much pressure on Nightman on this Reinhardt with this composition. Really need to wait until Ghost or Cha-Cha on the side of Moore get a pick to be able to open this up and walk in.
Yeah, I think if you're Moore, I think maybe you pull out like a Juno or something, you know, get some speed in there, be able to get Nightman in. But I think they can make this work if they're able to just push forward into this poke from Edison here. All they need to do is get on top of them. A lot of ults coming online as well. We do see the tree come up for Moore first. Maybe looking to use this here. Cha-Cha gonna look for this pick on the Mei. Does end up baiting out that ice block. Gets him to about half, but has to back up the life. We were going to save him just a little bit there. The Gravitic Flux available here for Winton as well. Maybe looking for something big here. Does pull it out. Is going to get Nightman up in the air here, doing quite a lot of damage, and Sniz is going to finish that off. The Trank comes out from Ghost, just not early enough to be able to save Nightman there. Is going to have to back up and get a reset here. 2 minutes left on the clock for Moore to make a push.
Yeah, the one advantage Moore has here is by taking all of this damage on these poke lanes, they're going to farm support ultimates really fast, so need to be using those as much as possible. However, Edison's going to use their ultimates to slow down these rotations when they have to, just like we saw Winton, who notably is on the Sigma, not the Winton, like we saw them do in that last rotation.
Why no Winston?
Yeah, where's my Winston
Where's my Winston gameplay? Granted, I do think the Sigma's better, so I can't say anything, but it would be funny. And now 4 ults coming online here for Edison. Almost 5 that Gravitic Flux coming back up fairly soon. More coming up on some ultimates as well. Might end up just being an ult fight for this last push here. About 70 seconds left here in this first half. Looking for the Blizzard here on Sniz. Does take a lot of damage too quickly. Isn't able to pop anything. Golden getting really low as well. The Blizzard will, the Bob will be used here for Golden. He's going to get a pick onto Cha-Cha there. Jay's getting to 1 HP. Marunia will finish it off. More, only 50 seconds left, but has 5 ultimates available to them. Edison's 3, but they do have the Flux, the Blizzard, and the Tree. Could stall pretty well here. We're just going to have to see how this plays out. Jay's maybe looking for some early picks with that ult as well. Cha-Cha looking for some dragons here too.
Yeah, this has got to be the fight if you were Moore, and you have so many ultimates to make it work. It's just how you're going to sequence it in. The Flux is going to come out with the wall, isolating it as well. Sniz going to commit the freeze. It's going to get Jays, but responded with the Trank. Still, Jay's going to come down. A big shatter with the Dragon coming out. Jaja going to be able to get 2, and a lot of cleanup for Moore. Having to commit 4 ultimates to be able to walk onto the point, but is going to be able to cap that first point with the time ticking down, going to even get into overtime for just a hair before capping that first point.
what a Shatter and Dragons there.
That's a big
Great
slam.
combo there. The Flux does come out, but just the, again, you know, the big slam with those Dragons coming out as well. Able to clean up and get that point. And Cha-Cha going to swap over to the Genji here and try to get some dives. You know, this second point here, very high ground advantageous for this defense here, especially being as pokey as they are. They're just going to be looking to try to keep themselves alive, and maybe if Cha-Cha can get a pick or two on this back line.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be a difficult spot for Moore because they don't have so much vertical mobility outside of the Genji. Unless they do something creative with this Life Weaver pedal, it's basically going to be Cha-Cha by themselves on this high ground trying to make some space as the cart moves along for Moore.
And looking for some backline here. Gonna take out that Alari pylon there. Does end up getting back down to half. Isn't really able to find anything, but Moore is making a lot of space here, just keeping themselves alive. Marunia gonna pop that ultimate, is able to get 2 picks off of it. 3 looking for the cleanup onto Nightman here. Winston able to dodge that pin, still just looking for the stagger if they can. And Sniz will finish it off, pushing forward just a little bit, trying to find as many picks as they can here.
Yeah, and like I was saying, really whenever Moore is lacking this vertical mobility on second point of Eichenwald, all revolves around that big castle up top. It makes it where Edison kind of controls when the fight is taken, and we saw it right there with the Bob and the Alari ultimate being used. Both of them just kind of being decided on Edison's side, as Edison's actually looking to take a little bit of a tempo fight here, fighting in the spawn of Moore, going to be able to get Jays. Magi's going to get traded out, and there are going to be a lot of picks coming in Moore's side, but it's in the spawn. How important is this fight when you're not moving the cart and having to clean them up out of your spawn? Especially, now, granted, the ultimate economy is in favor of Moore here, rolling into 5 ultimates, but still, being able to just burn off that time with no cart push, really smart play from Edison. Now Moore has to win one more fight on this point too, and a really big stagger from Golden. Cha-Cha going to be able to get a pick there and open up this next one.
Yeah, and Moore can't lose another fight here going into overtime now. Only 5 seconds left here. And with Moore having 5 ultimates available, I definitely think it's possible for them to do this, especially with Edison only having these 2 ults online. Maybe looking for a big flux to force them off the point here, but the Zen does stay alive here. Ghost is going to pop that, trying to keep themselves alive. Does end up pushing themselves off point to keep their teams alive. Is able to contest just in time. But a lot of picks come out from Edison here, just not able to pop those ultimates. Unfortunately, Umai, Nightman, and Jays all going down before they can get those ults online. And that overtime going to tick down, but not too bad of a push if you're a Moore fan.
Yeah, Moore definitely getting some solid fight wins there, especially when they needed it. Being able to stack up those ultimates and get past those brutal checkpoints. But Edison playing a very clean round of Overwatch on that defense, getting a lot of consistent fight wins, winning the fights that they should, Moore winning the fights that they should, means it's definitely a round that can be taken by either side as a win. Eichenwald to attack in general is already difficult. Being able to kind of avoid the high ground like Moore did and get as much value as they did with almost capping the second point, which is a very difficult part to capture. Moore probably feels pretty good about how they played that, being able to walk into this next round as well. And we do see a shift of compositions, a little bit more of the brawl that Moore's leaning into, knowing that Edison has to walk into them, but Edison knows that as well. Going back to that traditional brawl, and Jackson, I see a Symmetra.
I love Symmetra. Sniz maybe just, I mean, now being on the defense, I guess just looking for that chokehold, just being able to throw those turrets up there and just try to hold them off as much as they possibly can. You know, and I think it could work for them. And Golden having that Reaper as well, Winton on the Reinhardt. I think they're just looking here. Oh, they're on attack now.
Yeah.
I had them backwards. That makes more sense now.
Yes. Yeah, probably looking for a little bit more of a creative rotation. We saw Moore struggling with this rotation at the beginning. It's a very long lane, but the Symmetra teleporter can deny exactly that, teleporting straight through that choke, and Moore doesn't know where the opponent is, trying to rotate back on the point, but Edison's going to meet them there, and all of a sudden it feels like they're playing defense with the way this Sim Reaper was able to rotate on the comp so quickly.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to get this cap here, just forcing them off really hard. The contest comes out. but multiple picks from Edison going to grab an early point cap there. Maybe the Symmetra was what they were looking for, able to use that more brawl comp and get behind them and force more to have to push into them to be able to take it out. And now having a whole 5.5 minutes available to them to just be able to push this cart to
right,
more finished off.
A really smart play call by Edison, especially with this being a new season. These teams haven't played each other yet this semester, so sometimes a niche pick like Symmetra, if you're not expecting it from the enemy team, can really be a heads-up play and win free fights just like Edison just did.
Yeah, I think looking for more like gotcha plays is definitely going to work out a bit more whenever you haven't played against these teams as much. Using the teleporter again to be able to get up into this high ground is going to get a nice pin onto Umai there. Jace goes down as well to Sniz, able to get another great fight win and is looking for a big push, forcing Moore to have to back up a little bit. Moore's trying to get out, but the pin off the map went in, going to get a nice one onto Nightman, looking to clean up Ghost as well, and coming up on this Shatter.
Yeah, and all of a sudden we're looking at the final checkpoint too. It's going to be final touches for Moore. A couple of ultimates coming up on the side of Moore though, if they can get the contest, but they're not going to be able to. Edison going to be able to take a dominant map too, playing a really strong defense and a flawless offense there. Really good job from Edison taking that map too, and we're going to go to game 3 here. As we do see the play from Ghost on that Zenyatta for Moore, had a lot of really big transcendences during this game, especially this one here. This was the 5 ultimate push for Moore that actually sustained everyone through that Blizz and Flux, Zenyatta's dream, and being able to get a pick as well onto Golden, just being able to get a little bit more of the carry potential that you can see from that Zenyatta.
Yeah, and you know, going into this game 3, I think maybe Moore might be looking for some of those gotcha plays as well. I think Sniz pulling out that Symmetra, using that brawl comp, especially when it comes to that second point there, that high ground advantage on Eichenwald for the defense, kind of being able to lock that out and just push forward and be able to take them out and take out those fight wins. But we'll have to see how this game 3 goes for Moore, but don't go anywhere, we will be right back.
Yo, everybody's getting geek, bro. Stop the hate and let them neeks know that we turn the club into a freak show. Turn the club to a freak show. Turn the club to a freak show. Turn the club, yeah, we turn the club to a freak show. Turn the club into a freak show.
And we are back yet again into our Game 3. Match point here for Edison. Series point, looking to take this last map here on Coliseo onto the push map. What do you think Moore can do to be able to take one against Edison here?
So I really think Moore has been favoring this Reinhardt, but they're having issues kind of closing the gap on the backline, especially on like Sniz and Golden, who have been getting a lot of value on these poke DPS. We see the Ashe even now at the very beginning, and we actually see a Doomfist on the opposite side. So closing that gap even more important with this dive composition that Moore is looking at. I think that's the name of the game. They need to be able to get on these hit scan DPS, close the gap, and blow them up to where they can sustain through just the Sigma damage and be able to live through that as well.
Yeah, having the Venture, the Genji, and the Doomfist just looking for this backline that Edison has, the super pokey backline, looking to take out that Alari, the Soldier, or the Ashe if they can. Just be able to get that early pick and start this fight with an advantage here. But Edison is not going to let him have it that easily. Nightman going to look for an engage here. Takes a lot of damage early. Ghost just going to throw that Harmony Orb there onto Nightman. Try to sustain him as much as possible. Hasn't been able to get a good engage just yet. The poke damage proving tough for Nightman to be able to push in here. Maybe Jays can make something happen, being able to use that Venture Dig to start making some headway. Moore is going to take an early lead with this push. Is forcing Edison back just a little bit.
Yeah, Moore playing really smart here. Not forcing an engagement when they don't have to, and Edison's just constantly giving positions, trying to have these stronger angles, and even without committing a cooldown, Moore is able to close off these angles as we finally see the Doomfist engage up onto Sniz. Sniz is going to be backed off from that angle. A lot of damage coming out. This poke from Edison has been so brutal. Golden finally going to find Jays, but not before 32 meters for the side of Moore on this robot control. But Edison now with the advantage, going to try and push up. Winton trying to get a pick on to I Love Genji. And he's on Genji.
They do love
that
Genji.
makes sense, yeah.
Playing the Genji on the Genji.
And still just not a lot of engagements here for Moore, just not taking what's given to them. A little bit of pressure out. Sniz is going to be able to find Genji. And all of a sudden, more advantage for Edison, going to slowly be able to walk back into these. Sniz with a nice Helix rocket onto Ghost. Looking for the Life Weaver, being able to pressure it off and finish off Nightman. Some really nice shots here from Sniz, trying to get Umai away, or sorry, Magi, and is going to be able to get them to back off. And now Edison has that advantage.
Yeah, some ultimates coming online for Edison as well. About 80% for all of them. Winton coming on this Flux as well. Lead about to be taken here for Edison. And it looks like they will go ahead and take it. Moore not able to put enough pressure right now. Maybe looking for some ultimates to come online. Try to get on their backline if they can. I Love Genji looking to make something happen with the Genji. The Flux is going to come out here onto Golden. The Life Weaver going to save them there. Not quite a pick had for either team just yet. Sustaining as much as possible right now. Winton going to get down a little bit low. Golden going to throw out that Bob. Magi Cactus using that Tree of Life as well to sustain their team just a little bit here. The Tree of Life coming out from Moore as well. Looking for maybe a Genji Blade or a Trank here if needed. Golden going to get one with the Bob there. Nightman going to go down. Now with Moore down the tank. Is just looking to survive here. And the forward spawn going to be grabbed here for Edison as well. Now just having to wait a little bit for that bot to reset and get their push going again.
And waiting is the name of the game for Edison on this poke comp, playing slow and patient, not forcing any of their angles and jeopardizing their positioning, just slowly playing the game. Actually started with a disadvantage, but hasn't even lost a fight as I Love Genji goes in for the Dragon Blade, is going to be able to find one, gets the turret as well. Almost the Alari adding onto it. Sniz is going to be able to trade it back. 4v4 in this fight. Moore with an engagement here, trying to look for some pressure. Sniz able to control this high ground though, going to be able to pressure out the Genji. Really good healing and sustain on this as Moore starts to get the picks that they needed, making that defense crumble and going to be able to take the robot back.
Yeah, Sniz just looking to go ahead and clean themselves up there as well. Goes send themselves back to spawn, group up with their team. The forward spawn gonna be lost here for Edison, but not before most, if not all of them, respawn in this forward spawn here. Looking to take this fight early. More looking for another fight win to maybe take this forward spawn, potentially look to go ahead and take the lead as well. Golden gonna get a nice early pick on I Love Genji. Almost takes out Sniz, but not quite, and the visor gonna be popped for Sniz here. Looking for this backline, doesn't want to get too greedy and accidentally get picked off here. Golden gonna get a nice headshot there on to Nightman. Now Jay's down as well. Edison going to get a nice pushback here. Take the forward spawn back as well and look to take some more meters off this team here.
Yeah, and the difference between the last two fights, the more victory you saw the go button be hit in the Dragon Blade, there was a clean engagement for More being able to close that gap, but then the fight after, Edison being able to keep their angles really well and More not finding a good chance to engage, and their composition just can't sustain in this poke fight as Jays does commit the Venture ult, actually going to get traded out by Magi. That tree really being able to sustain Edison on the point. I Love Genji going to be able to trade out Sniz as well. Nightman very low here, just trying to pick off the angles of what is left. 4v4 situation, but spawn advantage for More here.
Again, just getting a lot of damage out, but not quite any big picks out yet. Edison is still waiting for Sniz to come back from spawn. Is just living right now. A nice punch there from the Doomfist is going to get a few of them. Golden, Magi Cactus, and Jaxi Chu are all going to go down. And now More going to get some pushback, but not before Edison takes the 100-meter mark there. More still at 30 meters here, looking to maybe take another fight win, especially lock off this forward spawn for Edison.
Yeah.
And if they can take this fight win here, that'll be a great opportunity for More to get a bit more push in their favor.
Yeah, one of the really significant things about this map type is the way that you need to chain together fight wins to actually make any progress. This back and forth is not good for More. They need to start chaining these together.
Yeah, and maybe with these ults coming online as well, looking to make something happen, I Love Genji is going to use that Dragon Blade to try to find something. Isn't quite going to get a pick though. Ghost and Nightman both having their ults online as well. But Edison having some ults to their name. It's just going to be about who gets the first pick. More trying to get onto this backline, but Edison is doing a great job of just keeping themselves alive here. Looking for this Genji as well. Golden taking some nice shots there, and the Genji will go down. Looks like this fight will be taken into Edison's favor. Ghost goes down as well. The Flux going to come out to try to clean this one up. Looking for Jays, does clean him up, and that will be the fight win for Edison. And it's like you said, this back and forth right now, just not proving good for More here. And not able to get bot push.
Yeah, for sure. And really the chess match right now is Magi versus Umai on these Life Weavers being able to rescue their players as we see Magi commit the tree here on the More engagement, really trying to just sustain the rest. And then the Alari ultimate coming out as well, finding two, Ghost and Umai, the entire backline for More eradicated by Jaxi Chu, going to be able to clean up that one. And now not only is More not chaining together these fights that they need, Edison is actually chaining together fights and making the lead even more intense.
Yeah, now Sniz with the visor available as well. A lot of ults available here for More. Try not to commit as many as possible. The tire will come out for Jays. Maybe looking to find the backline here. It is going to find Jaxi Chu. The Alari going to go down. Magi Cactus trying to keep Winton alive if they can. And back up just a little bit here. Only the tire is going to be used for More there. And it will be a fight win. Edison going to have to back up to this kind of upper high ground here towards their spawn. And the forward spawn will be lost here for Edison. More gonna need another fight win here. They're gonna need this second one in a row to get some space. I Love Genji gonna get behind them. Jace gonna finish off Sniz there. A great early pick, and still no other ults committed here for More.
Yeah, and this high ground's been where More has struggled to take any more space, being stalled on it 3 times. Will it be a 4th?
And just looking to stagger themselves here. Contested right now from Winton still. The Lifeweaver tree and Ghost's Trank are both going to come out. Tries to keep their team alive as much as possible. Some distance now gained a little bit. Sniz going to try to break this tree here. Is just going to go down. Maybe looking to pop this visor, the Meteor Strike used for Nightman. Keep themselves alive. Looking for some damage too if they can. A lot of damage comes out on themselves. Gets down to 27 HP, but is going to keep themselves alive. The Flux from Winton going to prove a little rough. Sniz going to pop the visor in tandem. And is going to get a lot of picks there with only 30 seconds left. Moore going to need some fight wins. They can't lose another one here.
Yeah, Edison really playing a great chess match there on that entire fight. Since that fight lasted so long, there were just so many different trades that Edison took that benefited them, and we really saw the collapse of it when Moore used both support ultimates at the same time to sustain their team, and then we're finally able to punish the situation as EMP comes out from I Love Genji. Going to get picked off though, Winton going to be able to get the pick there and sustain themselves as well as Moore's Desperation Touch comes in. Golden with it onto Jay's Sniz as well. These hit scans on this high ground just taking over the lobby as the more players begin dwindling down, and that is going to be a 3-0 for Edison.
Yeah, Edison doing a great job playing together as a team. More trying to change up their comps just a little bit to match Edison. You know, Edison was playing a lot of pokey comps in those last couple games, and Moore was looking to kind of bring this one back around and pull a little bit of dive comp out on the second match, but Edison just doing a great job of keeping their team alive. Honestly, I would say MVP here for Edison goes to Magi Cactus there. The Lifeweaver able to keep their backline alive so well, and Winton doing a great job on that Sigma as well, keeping themselves alive in that front line and just putting in a lot of work.
Yeah, both of those games where they opted to play the spam comp, Edison looked really strong being able to get their... They played their game. They played how their composition wanted to play, had angle control, and were really able to dominate whenever they wanted.
Yeah, and thank you guys so much for watching. And that was our first Overwatch game of the season, and congratulations to Edison for taking that victory. And we will see you guys next time.